Alejandra La Fenix Ayala, here with our program for today. Even though we saw each other yesterday, it was in Spanish, so it doesn't count. Here we have the question for the show, which is who would you like to see Mike Tyson face in an exhibition fight? Now, as we know, a few weeks ago, he said that he was going to do the exhibition fight, and then we saw him in some short clips, training, doing mitts, all of that, looking phenomenal. And so, in another show, it was asked, who would be a good matchup for this exhibition fight. Now, please remember that this is an exhibition fight. A lot of people have been saying that it's wrong for him to come back. It's wrong for him to fight. There's been rumors that he's going to do bare knuckle. There's been rumors that, he has multi-million shows happening. He's saying that if he were to fight, 12 rounds, he would win because he used to fight, 15 and all of that. But no, this is an exhibition fight, okay? So there's usually, here in Mexico, it's basically Olympic style fighting. They do have, bigger gloves, headgear, all of that. They fight with the shirt, and it's 3 rounds, 3-minute, 3 rounds. I'm not sure how many rounds he's planning on doing, but it was launched, and we got a lot of different responses, both funny and was legit, So, for example, Jesus Insausti Ugarte said Evander Holyfield, his nemesis. Miguel Ángel Ramos González said Canelo. Actually, a lot of people said Canelo. And I don't understand that. I don't know if it was supposed to be a funny thing or what, but they're not in the same weight class, obviously. Luis Patricio Vergara said Joshua, referring to Anthony Joshua. Again, a lot of people did also say that they would want to see Mike Tyson fight Anthony Joshua. Again, I don't think that's very that's gonna happen. An active fighter with a retired fighter, but they said he would still beat him. Miguel Del Mar Carrizo responds, not Joshua, but maybe Holyfield or Ohms or Butterball. I think that would be an interesting fight against Holyfield. I think from the retired group of boxers that there is in his weight class, I think that would be an interesting fight. Ches Espinosa said Lennox Lewis, and that's really interesting because, as we mentioned yesterday in our show, that he also posted on Twitter, I'm training too, obviously this in response to Mike Tyson saying that he's coming back. So that would be interesting. Let's see what else. And then Oscar Alfredo said, I don't think he's ready for an exhibition fight yet because he still looks... I don't think he's ready for an exhibition fight yet because he still looks very strong, and without making anyone less, even the actual champions aren't on his level. So he's saying he's not ready for an exhibition fight because he's still ready to be able to fight with the top contenders at this moment. So they want him to come back and fight pro fighting. So I don't know. Telesforo Gutierrez says with Kawachi. Of course, this man who has been out of boxing for a while. Jose Quiñones says Andy Ruiz. Jose Luis Martinez says, please don't promote past idols or old boxers. Let's work on new projects and make the promoters see the boxing is like everything. We have to renovate it. That's also very interesting. As I mentioned, so Chavez, the dad, started doing these exhibition fights here in Mexico to get funding for various places that treat drug addiction and things like that against Travieso Arce, who also is retired. And now, I don't know if it's because of the quarantine or what, more ex-professional boxers have been coming out and saying, Eric El Terrible Morales against Barrera, that's a done deal basically when they come back. They're going to do an exhibition fight. Now we see Mike Tyson. Now Lennox Lewis is getting in the mix. So why are these retired boxers coming back to do exhibition? Is it that, in actuality there is nothing? Is it the quarantine? Is it what is it? And it's interesting, you know. I think that boxing is like everything, and you need to be constantly renovating it. And well, I think promoters such as Eddie Hearn have been doing a good job at making it, you know, a spectacle more than anything, more than just, you know, a sporting event. Actually, he's saying that when they come back, and the UK has said that they're going to allow sporting events behind closed doors, except Eddie Hearn says that he wants to do it in a public space so that there could be, you know, drones flying around, and it'll be more of a spectacle in that way. So I think that's interesting. Edgar Alejandro Garcia says, with Rocky. Barry Bargo says, there's no point in the return of Tyson. He was never ethical. Oscar de la Hoya is promoting him for the money, but his time is over. Yes, as we know, Tyson did have various problems. I don't know, I don't want to say ethical problems, but he did have various problems there, and during his career, very controversial. I think that obviously he didn't maybe grow up under the right circumstances, and that led him to obviously not make the right choices, right? So, I mean, I see him now, and he looks very whole. He looks very at peace psychologically. So, I mean, I hope the best for him and emotionally. So I really do hope that you know, he stays sane. Otoniel Blas says, I would like to see Mike Tyson versus James Toney. Of course, I think that would be an interesting fight as well. I think well, maybe not any, but all these big names, I think, would definitely draw a crowd. Adrian Ignacio says, he has the right to make some money. The champion Fury is terrible. Joshua ran in his last fight so that Reese wouldn't pummel him again. And for that cowardly act, he made $85 million. Why not let Tyson make some dollars as well? So that's a very interesting setup of all the current heavyweights saying that they're making a lot of money and that they're not great. Maybe they're a little boring to watch. And so why not let Tyson make some money? Of course, we do know that this is to get funding for COVID-19 and for drug addiction programs. So it's not entirely for his pocket. And I don't even know if he's getting anything out of this. I think, well, he's not supposed to. I don't know how that gets handled, right? Alonso Fish says, Oscar de la Hoya, he's at heavyweight right now. So he wants him to face Oscar de la Hoya. And of course, you know, all this talk that we've had against Conor McGregor, that he said, you know, I would beat him, and Conor McGregor says, I'll accept your challenge, and then Oscar de la Hoya says, whoa, I didn't throw any challenges out at you. It was just, you know, my opinion. They asked me, and that's what I said. So Oscar de la Hoya is not getting in the ring anytime soon. He's doing a good job as a promoter, as a manager, and he's making a lot of money in that realm. So I don't see him coming back and doing anything for a good cause or for himself. Gerardo Chavez says, it's all ridiculous. Oscar Facio Torres says, with whomever, he would still win. Ezequiel Garcia says, Holyfield. Carlos Puerto says, I hope he's as strong as before. Well, judging by the videos, he looks strong. Actually, I feel bad for whoever's holding mitts for him because it looks like it hurts. Mauricio Gonzalez says, Mayweather Jr. to humble him down. Sergio Alejandro Ramirez says, Andy Reese, they have the same punching power. And that's true, and they're very quick, so I think that would actually be an interesting fight. I highly doubt that they would let Andy Reese, this active fighter with a promising future, still to make a lot of millions of dollars, would ever fight an exhibition fight where he could potentially get harmed. So I don't know if that would ever happen, but it was still interesting. Dominic James Hustler says, Ivan Drago. Eric Claudio says, Butterbean. William Puralo says, Donald Trump. John Leachy says, nobody, it's absurd. So, you know, I think this is really interesting. We actually had a talk about this, but in a Spanish version, where we said, you know, what do you think about exhibition fights? And the majority said that they were good, especially when, you know, the money is given to a good cause. It's good for maybe those people that didn't have a chance to see them fighting when they were active. It's good that, you know, that they're staying active and healthy, these ex-boxers, that they're staying in the gym, that they're not letting themselves get, you know, super fat. And of course, there's those that say, okay, you know what? It was their time. I think it's over. Let's move on, as our other friend said. Let's invest in this new generation of boxers. Why are we, bringing back the dead? So, in this occasion, in regards to the Mike Tyson fight, a lot of people actually said that they didn't want to see it. So, that's interesting. Victor M. Trinidad says, Deontay Bomb Squad Wilder. Matt Sizik says, what's the point? What does it prove? Frank L. Mullen says, nobody. Keep his legacy where it is. Hyakum Stan says, I will box him. We are both old. Alan Berry says, anyone. I actually love this man. Go Tyson. He's a beast. So, a little bit of everything there. The ones that got the most were Canelo for some reason, Mayweather Jr., and then, as we mentioned, the variety of challenges in the active fighters. But actually, very few people actually says somebody who's also already retired. I mean, we have Lennox Lewis in the mix and things like that, but I don't know. Hola, Phoenix. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I think an exhibition between Tyson and Francis Ngannou would be an intriguing, especially after Tyson endorsed Ngannou following his KO win at the UFC 249. Yeah, so right now I think we have a lot of people who are, mix and matching, not only male but also female boxers. They're getting in the mix. Cecilia Brækhus wants to do something with an MMA fighter. There's talk of Nunes. Actually, Nunes is already declared that she's going to her upcoming fight. So obviously, people are very excited. I don't really follow MMA, UFC, all of that, but I do know Nunes, and she is a lot of fun to watch. So we're gonna be out there, and yeah, I think it's very possible. Like I said, I'm not sure how it works. A lot of contracts actually say that an active fighter can't do an exhibition fight, especially if they have already a promoter who is, obviously taking care of their career. So we would have to see. But I think it would be interesting as well. And me personally, I would love to see Mike Tyson back in the ring. I think he's phenomenal as a boxer. As I mentioned, he did have a lot of controversial moments in his career and during his career, and like I said, I do think that he's come back. I do think that he's gotten the psychological, emotional help that he needed maybe back then, especially when he parted ways with his old trainer who basically taught him everything. So I don't know. From judging from the videos, he looks very strong, very quick, very agile. I don't think he would go the 10 rounds. I'm thinking maybe 4, and it would be phenomenal. I would like to see him against, a Lennox Lewis, a Holyfield, any of those. I think would be really interesting. So let's see what happens. He's constantly putting things up, so we're definitely gonna be on the lookout, and we'll have more news coming up. Thank you so much. I am Alejandra La Fenix Ayala. Hi to everyone in Chicago, in Tijuana, Mexico City, Canada, and of course the rest of the world. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.